Hey golfers, thanks for your interest with the 3-week Game Changer program. My name's Atomu. I'm the owner of the Sunshine Coast Golf Centre. Fortunate enough to provide a facility that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so you can come in and practice. Literally comes down to how motivated you are into getting better. So goal setting session, this is what the first session is all about. So before you come down, we want to make sure that you're confident and you're clear on exactly what this outcome is, and then hopefully it makes sense on why we need this to start off with. So to start off with, here's the whole framework. I'm going to take you through one by one. I'm going to start with this S. Current hurdle. That's normally what comes to mind when it comes to a goal. I've got a slice, I chunk it, I'm inconsistent, whatever it is, we believe that's the goal. If I can solve that, everything happens. But the goal is actually deeper than that. Once you've solved whatever the current hurdle is, where are you hoping the golf game to be? Once you've overcome it, where do you want your golf game to be? If we can then achieve that, what would that mean to you? You should have some kind of feeling and emotion behind that. Happy, content, fulfilled, whatever that may be. That's the reason, and that's the thing that ultimately drives us. If we find that by asking this question, by solving the slice, is that really going to solve your game? And it's like, not really. Ask more questions. Once the slice is in the middle of the fairway, where are you hoping the ball to be? And then so on and so forth. Then you'll get to a point where, there's some kind of emotional drive attached behind it. Whatever that is, jot that down. Yeah, that's the first part. The second one is list all of the obstacles. We are our own expert, and I can guarantee you guys know what the solution is that you need to do. So list every single obstacle that you can think of, whether it's time, money, the resources, the coaches, the facility, the golf clubs, whatever you think that needs to be solved, write it down. The bigger that list is, the better it is. And then from there, even positive things, where does the ball need to be? But write a whole bunch of those things down. So to break 100, I've got to be able to keep my golf ball all the way around. I can't lose it. I don't 3-putt, I can chip the ball from 50 meters onto the green, first attempt, those types of things. That is where this milestone for the M goes in. Ultimately, if we tick all of those things, we should be getting closer to our specific goal that we've just mapped out for ourselves. The third part, the A, is in this instant we use it as accountability. I know there's a smart formula out there, they call it achievable, but we call it accountability. It's what's the thing, it's the how-to is probably the best way to think about this, is what have you got in place? Practice sessions, are you practicing once a week? Are you going to keep doing that? What are the things that have stopped you from practicing and getting lessons and getting a club fit and all of those types of things? Writing those things down. So for us as a golfer, we can ultimately be held accountable for the amount of practice we do. When do we check in with the golf coach to make sure progress is heading in the right direction? The physical element, let's face it, eating a whole bunch of meat pies and Coke isn't really going to be the best for us physically, and unfortunately that doesn't work for golf either. And then the mental, who's out there to make sure that you are in control of your thoughts. I know that myself as a professional golfer, I struggled immensely with that, never asked the question. Being a guy, whatever, we thought we all knew the answer, but to be able to bounce ideas and finding out exactly how to overcome those things is super, super powerful. Stage 4 is the R. See, mate, is stage 4 is what's the best case scenario? So again, in a smart formula, it's called realistic. We like to think it as unrealistic. We are very conservative, especially Aussies. If you're an American, you're the opposite of realistic. And we want to start thinking like that too. It's like, what is a goal? What is something that someone would go, man, you're kidding yourself. You're never going to achieve that type of thing. So I've just written it down as, what's the best case scenario? If you do all of these things, what's the best case scenario? Is it breaking now 90? Is it breaking 80? Is it breaking 70? What is it? It's good to know. It's good to write it down, making those subconscious thoughts real. We've got them all in our head. It's like, man, if I actually put some time and effort into it, I'm going to do this. Last one. When do you want the goal to be accomplished? It's super important. There's got to be an end date. We are time driven. We know when there's a time limit on something, that's when we actually put the time and effort into it. Remember doing your exams and assignments, things like that. Man, we got 3 months to do this thing, and guess when we did it? The day before. We're up till midnight trying to finish this thing off. So whenever we put a time behind it, it definitely pushes us and makes us more accountable. The other positive to that is that then all of a sudden it makes this big problem super achievable. So here it is, little timeline. Start where you are now. I've just did a little 12-month one, and then increments of 3 and 6, things like that. So we had a golfer in here just recently playing off a 16 handicap, wants to get to single digits, wants to do that by the end of the year. So he's got 6 months up his sleeve. And we worked out that all he had to do was to drop 1 shot a month to get there. 1 shot a month. So then the question was, well, in the practice and coaching and everything that you've got there, are they all about just dropping 1 shot a month? Am I doing enough practice? Am I focusing on the practice? That is going to change my golf game. So I'm saving 1 shot a month. Once I've achieved that, tick. Next one. What have I got to do to save 1 shot a month? So a simple strategy that we come up with this player was, if we could keep the same golf ball all the way around, would this save shots off your scorecard? Guess what the answer was? The other one was, if we didn't 3-putt and we just 2-putted and 1-putted around our golf course, how many would that save? I was like, man, that could save heaps. That was the 8 shots that he needed, or 6 shots that he needed to get from where he is now, where he wants to get to. So again, when you follow this simple process and now it's out in front of you, we want to make sure that these are all of our unconscious thoughts that are in our mind at the moment. Every single one of them, you know the answer to. Us as coaches, we just help you arrive to those. That's all we're here for. And if you want, we're here. Half an hour of our time just to help you come up with this, we're more than happy to do. Now, it's on you. Are you willing to take the half an hour out of your time to come sit down with us to work this out? Or, now that you have it, are you going to do it yourself? That's it. That is really it. And if you really want to get deep dive into the half an hour thing, guess what? It's going to take you 15 minutes to get here, 15 minutes to go home, so an hour of your time. Is an hour of your time worth to find out what that is all about, so you know exactly what to do? Now it's just up to you to go, now I'm going to actually start. Good luck. And again, click that link. Book it in. What's holding you back? Let's do it.